Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
Andre Williams.
And I'm Heaven.
And today on the new party, we have very, very sad news to report. There has been another mass shooting in Minnesota. There has been live coverage of it. Interestingly enough, unfortunately, there was a shooting yesterday. Gray, I know that Minnesota is being ran by a Democratic governor. In fact, we interviewed someone last night, Brad Koberger, who will be hopefully unseating Tim. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me not ask that question with you. Hopefully not unseating Tim Walz, Tampon Tim. What do you think about the mass shootings in such a blue state like Minnesota?
Well, according to X, the Republicans are already running on there saying, oh, see how Tim Walz is wrong. Basically, even in a blue city, you can have mass shootings and all these types of things. I feel like when these things happen, we always rush to the media and it becomes a Republican Democrat thing where we want to be able to have more gun control on the left, and then the right starts talking about the Second Amendment. So I don't want to blur the lines with the way that they do. I feel like it's case by case basis. Let's see who the suspect is. Let's see why this person did this. Let's see how they got a way to access to this weaponry to be able to commit this crime.
Well, to give more details, today was one of the first days back to school in Minnesota. This mass shooter had took a semi-automatic rifle, shot 50 to 100 rounds. It's one lone shooter wearing black. Again, the Democrats love to talk about semi-automatic weapons and wanting to ban it on a nationwide scale, but still they have it in their states. Andre, is this political play, or do the Democrats really want to ban these weapons?
I mean, they're not going to do it. I mean, we've heard this talk for like the last 20 years. They're going to ban these weapons, and it's increased more and more. It's a sad event. I mean, either way, I really don't. When these events happen, I hate to get into the politics of it because it's like, why? These are children. These are people's families. We should be coming together as Americans and like, hey, this is a problem. And this highlights the mental health crisis that we have in this country more so than a gun problem. We have a deep mental health crisis in this nation. And a lot of these states, Republican and Democrat, refuse to address that. That's the thing. They'll talk about the guns all day because they think that talking about the tool is going to solve the problem when they don't want to talk about the root issue. I didn't want to talk about how a lot of Americans don't really feel one can't afford to go and get some kind of help. And then when they get the help, it's kind of, you got to wait several months just to see somebody. I had to deal with that with the VA. I'm like, well, shit. At this point, I might as well just get the rope. At this point, I got to wait months and months just to sit here and get an appointment. But that's the sad reality that a lot of veterans, a lot of people, they have to deal with when it comes to American healthcare. I mean, we have great healthcare. We have the best doctors in the world. But if you have to wait months upon months and then have to pay such a high premium and coverage for it, like, who wants to do that? So, and then also we butchered the mental health institutions. Thank you, Ronald Reagan. And thank you, the Republican Party of the 1980s and 90s, for ruining that. This is why we have these problems. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. If they're going to push the gun narrative, I think that's very weak. It's going to be another L for Democrats. But if Republicans just sit by and not really double down on the mental health stuff, then it's going to be an L for them, too. So it could just be the same old we see every time.
Yeah, and I say this every time. It's a lot easier to get a gun than it is to get mental health. I mean, It takes months, like you said, even for civilians. Heaven, as somebody that served in the military, what's your thoughts on the mental health crisis of America? Andre brings up some really good points.
Andre hit it right, a nail on the head. Mental health is not just in regards to weapons, but also when it comes to poverty and being able to break the cycle of emotional and mental distress to help people come up out of poverty so that they're not having these emotional issues, because that also contributes to emotional issues and emotional distress. Mental health in this country is terrible. And absolutely, Andre, it takes months and months and months. And it actually is going to get worse now that so much funding was cut from the VA. It takes at least 6 months for me to see someone to get mental health. And in that time period, what is anyone supposed to do when they're holding on? Like Andre said, they'll be like, might as well grab the rope, because what am I waiting for? You don't care enough about my life. If someone's in that mental state, they might be thinking that. Like, you don't care about my life because you'll make me wait 6 months when I'm screaming for help. And I think a lot of this is screaming for help.
Yeah.
It's a lot of children.
Mm-hmm.
Their brains aren't fully developed. They see a lot of violence on television. I don't think that taking away guns is going to happen, but I do think we need at the very least, every 5 years, gun owners should get mental health evaluations to ensure that they are responsible people to have these weapons.
I want to put out there that there is a veteran hotline. If there's anyone out there, you just dial 988+1, and you can also text 838-255. If you're a civilian, just text 988.
Man, I called that hotline before for someone I knew. They don't do nothing. They don't help them. They don't send no help. It honestly is a joke. I mean, seriously.
I'll add Canada because we cut a lot of our mental health services for LGBTQIA plus community. Canada opened up theirs for Americans to use. I don't know theirs off the top of my head to give you that number, but they did open theirs to us as well.
Yeah. So, speaking of mental health and getting help, unfortunately, our boy Jordan Wells is jobless. We are going to play the clip. You guys will recognize him. Shout out to Jordan Wells. He is a friend of the show, but he basically recently went viral for the Jubilee debate for being a Black conservative with Amanda, whatever her name is, and they debated. So, here